Rainier, or a view of Mount Rainier anyway. A lovely evening here near Eatonville, Washington. Let's see if I get a good cell signal here and I'm able to share this moment with you. So I got off work at Olympia at 5 o'clock and was going to head home, but then got sidetracked with the thoughts of coming out here and seeing Mount Rainier, and fortunately I have made it in time, so that's fantastic. Beautiful farm country ahead and the mountain in the distance. Hey Susan, how you doing? We've got a beautiful evening. Unseasonably warm for this time of year. Not that it's, feeling terribly warm, but it's certainly not cold at the moment. It'll get cold tonight though. Isn't it, Susan? So glad you like it. I have wanted to get a good view of the mountain in a live stream since very early this year. And with the daylight getting shorter in terms of availability as we go deeper into the year, I thought, you know what, I better make this happen soon. So here I am. Oh, is that right? I'm going to zoom it out because I've got the DSLR on the same tripod, and I definitely want to get some shots of the mountain with the DSLR. You almost moved to Portland? Wow. Let's see if it catches much color here tonight. Sunset 6:17, so we're coming on that. Obviously we're looking to the east. As I look behind me to the west, I can't even see the sun because it's so low now. And the tree line behind me obstructs the view of any possibility of seeing the sun before it goes down. But the mountain is high and it should catch this daylight for a few more minutes, and let's see if it catches some additional color along with it. I'll zoom in as far as I can here. So in case anybody's wondering, watching this live stream or the replay, I'm live streaming with an iPhone 7 Plus. I'm just outside of Eatonville, Washington. Not sure what the temperature is right now, but I imagine it's probably around 60. Driving out here, I pulled over briefly because I saw another view of the mountain with some horses in the foreground and a barn. Oh, it was so beautiful. But there wasn't much of an area on the side of the road there, and I just didn't want to be a possible hazard and put myself and others at risk. So I remembered that this little park, I think it might be called Dogwood Park, but I'm not sure, was along this road because I came out here much earlier in the year. And I was looking for a report of a landslide closer to the mountain. Did not find it. Triple tall, thank you. And when earlier in the year, and I came by this way early in 2018, I saw this place where I'm set up now. I said, I'm gonna have to return here one day. Now we're starting to get some color, you guys. Triple tall, or are you at the Snohomish Aquatic Center? Yeah, it's exactly what it's doing, Susan, and now it's catching a little bit of color. You guys, if you don't mind, could you share? If you don't mind sharing on Twitter or Facebook, wherever you like to share. See if we can bring some more people in. We have all of 3 people, and 3 very important people, but it would be nice to be able to share this live for anybody else who might be interested in seeing Mount Rainier right now. Anybody watching this live or on the replay, if you like this type of content, especially if you're into photography and a bit of breaking news, feel free to check out some other videos on this channel. Feel free to like this one and subscribe. You do not do Twitter. Ah, no worries. And for those who might be wondering, tonight on the DSLR side, I'm shooting with a Canon 7D. That's my go-to camera. That's my only DSLR. And I'm just simply shooting with a 50mm lens. It has a real nice sharp focus, does well in low light, and I can crop the large RAW file and get a closer look at the mountain later when I process these images in Lightroom. It is that pinkish orange sunset color you love. Ah, super. Let's give you a closer view. I'm gonna just do this briefly because I have to frame up my DSLR again. There you go. I can tell you right now, Susan Triple Tall might not be replying because she's got her hands full with 2 boys at swimming lessons right now. I'm going to change my camera settings a bit. Now we've got some beautiful fall colors in the area. It's nothing like you would get, say, back east in Vermont, but we still have some really lovely areas. And I'll be sure to post a photo or two, probably just one, on social, because it's going to pretty much be the same point of view. I'll tell you what though, I'm really tempted to include some of the vegetation here in the foreground. Now the really lovely colors coming on. Okay guys, stand by for a bit of a rocky ride. I'm going to adjust all 3 tripod legs to get a lower shot, so please stand by. There's a fence post I'm just trying to get out of my shot with the DSLR. You can see it there, but yeah, the red bushes kind of add to the red mood of sunset, don't they? Mac Lady, thank you. Nice to have you here. Okay guys, I'm gonna adjust the shot a bit more. It's gonna be bumpy just briefly. I'll zoom it out for you as I do this. There we go. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's catching that sunset light. Okay, so I'm gonna change this just a bit more. There we go. Again, I'll post these images on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I'm Beyond 90 Seconds also on Twitter. And I'll probably share them in the live broadcast this weekend. Really nice sky. Really nice sky coming on now. Oh, that's beautiful. I have to keep changing my DSLR settings. I'm glad I'm shooting with the 50mm because even though it's not a zoom lens, it does really well in low light. Dark 30 where you're at, Mac Lady. Let's see, sunset, it was at 6:17, so we must be right around there right now. I'm really looking forward to processing these photos. Like a molten volcano. Hey, the Kit Kat! Kit Harvey's here. Hey, Kit, welcome to near Eatonville, Washington, and a view of Mount Rainier. How about this, Kit? Thank you, Kit. It's 8:23 and past sunset, yeah. So yeah, it would be 6:23 here. So here's where the real processing potential is. Right now there is just some really nice color in the sky. And that, I think, is going to pop real nice once I bring these into Lightroom. Okay, I'm really losing light here. So I'm going to change things up a little bit on my DSLR. See how that's doing. Oh yeah, that's doing well. Yeah, really nice. So the temptation is so often to think, okay, that's it, it's over, right? Because we're just barely catching some sunlight up there now. But sometimes you go deeper into twilight and what's already pinkish can turn really red. So let's just see and take a look and see what it does. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I think it's going really well tonight. Osprey Mama! 9:30 in Florida. Hey, thank you, Kit. Nice to have you here from Florida, Osprey Mama, as always. Totally unexpected treat to have you along tonight. No wildlife. I saw a beautiful shot with a couple of horses in a barn as I was driving here. I am using manual settings. Well, I'm going to have to change them. I'll tell you what they are right now. 1/100th of a second for the shutter speed, f1.8, and ISO of 100. I am using automatic white balance. But I know I'm going to have to change these settings. I'm going to go to 1/80th of a second. So, I know it's a rather impromptu YouTube live broadcast. Are you guys okay with this kind of a surprise appearance? I was really tempted to go to Periscope, but I know that I oftentimes get, if the cell signal is good enough, I'll get a better quality picture on YouTube. And I'm also very much trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I thought, oh, let's see how this goes over. I think in general, the wildlife and nature live stuff doesn't do all too well for me on YouTube, but this is Mount Rainier, so to me this is a real treat. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to take it to YouTube, because at the end of the day, I can actually get high def as opposed to Periscope. So why not try and see if we can get a 720p or maybe even a 1080p broadcast? Because the app I'm using on my phone, which is Streamlabs, does do to it 1080p if the signal is good enough. So let's see how this all turns out at the end of the day. Your hubby is retired photo mate from USN, so in the Navy, so he has taught me much about the settings. Love this treat. Ah, wonderful, Mac Lady. You know what? There's an app that I think I can connect this to. I'm going to have to look into it. That'll allow me to go to multiple platforms at once. In fact, it's an app I've recommended to our friend Christian Sassi in the past. Told him about it. I think he's using it now. I have never used it. And now that I'm trying to put some fuel in the fire, so to speak, for my YouTube channel, I might very well use it myself in the future so that I can get out to Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, hopefully all at once. You were watching old music videos. This is beautiful, and you're not too fond of Periscope. I got to tell you, Periscope is a little annoying to me lately. It's done something, just a real quick story. It's put NSFW, possibly NSFW, which is possibly not suitable for work, on my recent Periscope broadcast from down on Springhetty Road at the pumpkin farm. And this is the second time this has happened to me, and I'm not happy with the response. The last time this happened to me many months ago on Periscope, I ended up deleting it because I just didn't want that associated with my channel, just the speculation of that possibility, because I try to keep my channel real positive. Unless there's breaking news, it could be a negative story, but I try to really be on top of any inappropriate comments and make it family friendly. At the end of the day, that's the bottom line. I want my content to be family friendly, and I've had a back and forth with Periscope, but it doesn't even seem like they're really looking at my broadcast. In fact, the last guy said, I think it's all solved now. Well, I still see the NSFW, and I guess I'm going to keep this one up, even though that really bothers me to see that on my channel. Yeah, that's the thing that's really bugging me about Periscope. Putting up with that on top of all the bots that continue to come up, you know, year or years later now with links to highly inappropriate content. You know, I'd like to see Periscope and Twitter really get more aggressive in policing that stuff. He goes multi-platform in 4K. Yeah, he has done it. I did the initial test. I was his guinea pig to watch and see that. And I think ultimately he backed off to 1080p. But if he's back to doing 4K, Sassy Photo, that's great. My channels are so innocuous. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to change my settings. I'm going to bring my ISO up. I don't like doing that, but let's go to 250 and see what happens. Oh, that's livable. Very nice. So what's really nice right now is, you know, that mountain still really pops, even, and the iPhone does a great job. Our smartphones do a good job of compensating for low light. So what you're seeing in the iPhone actually looks a bit brighter than what it does to the naked eye. Facebook has tons of inappropriate content, and I report them, and Facebook does nothing, and they are porn. Is that snow on the mountain? Guess it is. Yes, Mac Lady, that is most definitely snow. We get year-round snow on Mount Rainier, as we do on Mount Baker, much further to the north. Mount Baker just south of the Canadian border. Mount Rainier, much further south in the Puget Sound region, east of the bottom of the Puget Sound region of Washington State. So I've essentially come east from Olympia, which is where I work. Thanks, Susan. Oh yeah. Knock on wood. Now look at that. Look at what's going on in the sky, you guys. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm gonna put a delay now on my shutter. Let's go with a 2-second delay. Mark, will you take just one of my birds and place right in the middle of that field? Then I'll have the perfect picture. Mark will take that. There you go. That would be beautiful out there in the field. But I think it might be a little too cold for some of your birds down there in Florida. Let's show you what the moon's doing tonight too. Showed that earlier in the live stream, near the very beginning. And so you get a feeling now for the wispiness of the clouds. Okay, my friends, well, I want to thank you very much for checking out this broadcast. It says I'm streaming in 1080p. If that's the case, I'll be tickled. Very much so, because it's just awesome to be able to do that with a phone these days, and to be out in a fairly rural area, although you can probably hear the traffic on the highway or the roadway behind me. I want to thank you very much. Let's see if I can switch it around. Which is my camera switch here? Oh, I'm in the dark. Here I am. Anyhow, thanks a lot for joining me. So yeah, I'm in this little pull-out area. There's some red sky actually behind me, if I expose for that. Okay, just finishing up on messages. Good evening, always good seeing you. Likewise, Kit. And Osprey Mama says, I see it. I think that was reference to the moon. Susan North, Osprey Mama, Triple Tall, Kit. Mac Lady, thank you all very much. I really appreciate you watching tonight. And I'll just turn it back to the moon, the mountain rather, and wish you all a good night. If you like this, feel free to share. I certainly welcome it. And if you don't already subscribe, please consider doing so and giving this video a thumbs up. Take care, everybody.